In 2016, somebody got married in this treehouse. When I say somebody, I mean these people. These are leafcutter ants, and this is their new treehouse, made of leaves that they cut with their powerful jaws. But how do they get those leaves up into the tree? Well, by working together, carrying them one by one like a tiny green tower made of leaves. It's very cute until you realize these ants are the size of grains of rice. So what kind of tree is this treehouse attached to? Well, it's attached to the leaf of a plant called a strangler fig. After about a year, the colony is big enough to split into smaller groups and find their own fig to hollow out. Some colonies even build multiple tree houses, which are connected by underground tunnels. This is the fig that the ants are using as their home base for their big project. That's how many ants it takes to start building. And since each fig contains between 1,000 and 10,000 fig wasps, there are plenty of fig trees to go around, making them look like they have tiny red flags on their backs. That's because they farm their own food. See, the leaves that they cut contain sugars, fats, and proteins that the ants need to survive. But the leaves aren't ready to eat right away. First, the ants have to take them back to their fig, grind them up with their teeth, mix them with microbes, and let them ferment for about a week. Then they're ready to eat. They cut the leaves and branches off of it, hollowing out the inside, then fill it with dirt and seeds and more leaves to make it look just like a tiny house. These tree houses are just their natural fig houses. They've been around for millions of years. But we're pretty lucky that they exist, because the only way we know about them is because some human noticed them. If you want to watch the whole thing, there's a link in the description. And thanks for watching. Otherwise, nobody would ever know. She lays eggs to make more ants, but she also has a special job. You see, she lays pheromones, which are basically tiny chemical messages that tell the other ants where she is, and that they should protect her. And she moves around a lot, so the ants have to keep track of her constantly. That's why if you look closely, you can see ants surrounding the queen at all times. She's like a tiny green queen bee in a much bigger hive. They seal up the entrance with their bodies, creating a little nursery inside where the new baby ants can be born and grow up safely away from predators. The pregnant ants crawl through a hole in the nursery fig, lay their eggs, then die. Eggs hatch into male and female workers, who mate with each other so that the females are pregnant before they even leave the fig. Then the males dig a hole out of the fig, so that the colony can start searching for food. This colony was first discovered in the 1980s, and at the time, scientists thought that all leafcutter ant colonies were actually connected underground by tunnels. It's kind of like how ant colonies are connected in a giant underground honeycomb. But these ants proved scientists wrong. And while we're talking about what's inside, let's talk about the queen. The workers will collect leaves from the fig and carry them back to the fig to feed the growing colony. If you were wondering how big a group of ants needs to be before they start building a tree house, the answer is 1,000. Now, these ants don't build tree houses for humans. The name of this particular species of ant means Red Rider, because the ants that guard the fig carry their abdomens up into the air when they sense danger. You might be wondering why these ants eat leaves instead of, say, honeydew. Basically, these ants do everything we do, except they're way better at it because they work together. All the footage you saw in this video came from a nature documentary.